You know, they say lightning never strikes twice. And they say, sometimes you can catch lightning in a bottle.
All right, there we go. There we go.
But with the Last of Us show, it's a whole thunderstorm out here, bruh. It's a whole, I don't know. That was bad. I tried, y'all. I tried. I literally just woke up 5 seconds ago. But we are back once again with another episode of the Why I'm Geeked show with your boy G and ChrisyLite. I just realized I always say either you or me first. I don't remember. But on the screen, when it says with Ginato and ChrisyLite, I wonder if people get confused because you're on the left and I'm on the right. I don't know. I always introduce us, so it doesn't really. I don't think it really matters, but I don't know. I just came to my mind. But we are here to talk about the Last of Us today because it finally started, man. The best series of the year.
Oh, dropping labels already?
I mean, it's the best one we done got so far. So
far.
But it's still early. But Chris, how you feeling today, buddy?
I'm feeling pretty good. I was excited that The Last of Us dropped so early because I wasn't really like watching for it or waiting for it.
Yeah.
I just started seeing, on Twitter. It's like, oh, Last of Us.
Twitter.
Oh, it's dropping. I think it was Sunday night.
Yeah.
Like 9. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch the game, but I think I ended up watching it Monday, but I was like, oh, it's on, and I'm just so glad so early, and now I have something that I will be watching every week.
We locked in. We locked in. Yeah, you had reminded me. I had reacted to a trailer a long time ago, but it's a lot of stuff coming out. Like I feel like a lot of stuff dropped last week, but
yeah, even trailers like future stuff.
Like 2-3 movies is coming out soon, so it's a lot of stuff going on. But today we gotta talk about this show because, man, one of the GOATs is in it, Pedro Pascal. That's one of my favorite actors. He been going crazy since day one. Whether he was watching Narcos, The Mandalorian, you know what I'm saying? Like, he Joel now. He literally Joel, bro. But I think the first thing that I wanted to talk about today was just Sarah, bro. Like, why they? I don't know how you feel. I never played the game, but I watched it. I watched it multiple times.
Disappointing.
Nah, bro.
That's good for perspective's sake, because I played it many times, and then you've watched it, so at least now
I've watched it multiple times.
A new medium,
Exactly. So it's like I know a lot that's happening, but it's been so long that I don't really remember a lot. So it's like it's a weird sensation watching this show because it's like it's something I hadn't seen, but it's also a new experience. And then also, I'm sure there's gonna be people that like me haven't played the game that are watching this for the first time. So like, I want to be a little delicate with like talking about future stuff because I don't want to spoil stuff for people. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna do our thing on the Geek Show because it's stuff we gotta talk about. So like I was saying, man, freaking Sarah. Why they do that? Why did they do it again? It wasn't that bad in the game.
It was pretty bad in the game. It was just, when you play a video game, you just bought the game. The game ain't over or nothing.
Yeah.
So right in the beginning, you're like,
ain't no way.
Oh man, okay, so this is how they gonna do it. Just so as a game, a lot of that's happened. Someone loses their family, something like that, or this is how they get revenge, or this is why they are. But to see it on HBO, they took their sweet time building up some chemistry.
Yeah,
showing how she went and got him a birthday present, stayed up, hung out with the old lady next door.
Or wanted to make pancakes.
Man, and then That scene is so close to the game,
Yeah.
and it was just so good. Like,
Yeah, I think it's because like that's why I'm excited for this show because um they're going to be able to dive deeper into characters that they didn't necessarily had time to in the game, right? Because in the video game you want to keep people like, you know, locked in and progressing through the story, and you don't want to necessarily bog people down, but with this jump it was like, yo, like we got to see more of Sarah and like her personality versus like in the game, it was kind of like, okay, that was Joel's daughter. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? This sucks that this happened in this way, and I understand why Joel is the way he is now.
yeah.
But my baby girl hurts. It hurts watching that joint, and I was in distress. I was
I
in
think
distress.
definitely what made me so happy seeing those first 25, 35 minutes that whole scene takes place.
Mm-hmm.
It just made me feel like, dang, this is possible. Like, it is
Yeah.
so possible to translate a video game
Yeah.
to the big screen, to a TV show. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just so disappointing when you think about other stuff that just does not translate, because
Right.
it's kind of like, I feel like just off one episode they treated it with such care,
Mm-hmm.
and it just felt so much like the game. And
Bro.
I don't know how many games they just never do it right.
Yeah.
Something's already off, or something's wrong with this character, and you're just like,
Casting.
oh, what was that? Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all didn't even
But
take a
okay,
second.
hold up,
Come
hold
on
up,
now.
hold up. Let me shoot them some bail. They was trying
No,
to do some
they had
supernatural stuff too.
eight earthbenders to move one single rock. That blew me so much when I first saw that.
Yeah, it
And
was
like,
bad.
this show, it took one episode for me to be like, you know what? I trust you. Like, I
Yeah.
trust that we're gonna get a lot of the goodness that came from the game, the greatness
Hmm.
that came from the game is
Yeah.
gonna translate to the series.
Yeah. But I think when it comes down to as well is um the subject matter too, because in games or shows and stuff that have, superhuman type feats or whatever, whether it's Avatar or Dragon Ball Z, right? Don't even want to talk about Dragon Ball Evolution. It's hard to translate those things if you're not doing something like Star Wars, where it's more about something simple as making a lightsaber. Versus in this movie, I mean in this show, we have things like The Walking Dead to already fall back on, right? So, we know that this model works, but it's just that in combination with um the actual story and knowing who Joel and Ellie end up becoming. It has me super hyped. And then when you say it was very very similar to the game, like it was eerily similar, not necessarily like the characters directly themselves, but like the scene that sticks out to me the most is when after the initial car crash, um, when Joel's trying to get him and Sarah to the river to meet up with Tommy. When they got that one zombie chasing them, right? And he's running like crazy through all the stuff, and the way that they actually used the camera, it was so similar to the game because Joel wasn't moving that fast. The zombies just all over the place, and like it was so similar to the game. I was like, oh bro, this is gonna be good. If they mastered that pacing of that scene, I was like, bro, nah, they got it. They got it. Um, but I mean, yeah, it just like it was that, and then I love the initial opening to this joint too because of the breakdown of like them basically giving a warning of the whole virus and what is the possibility of spores. And I don't remember that in
Fungus.
fungus. Yeah, I don't remember that. And was that in the game too?
Yeah, but I think they explain it later on in the
That's
game.
what I'm saying.
The
Yeah.
concept of the cordyceps.
Mhm.
So that goes on later.
Yeah, but
It
I'm
was just
glad.
very clean to do it right in the beginning because it is
Exactly.
very complicated. And if you've
Hmm.
never been on the deep end of YouTube one day, it's a
Right.
dark subject when you get into the cordyceps and the ants. It's
Yeah.
a wild YouTube video, but
Yeah. And it's like they're this was a long episode too. So they're establishing a whole lot of stuff. Just the prelude was like almost half an hour to, before we even get to the time skip. So um I think that was really really important to see. And honestly, like I was scared, bro. Like I knew what was gonna happen. I was still getting like spooked. I was like, man, there's still it's still happening, and I haven't really felt that way about a show since probably like early Walking Dead, just because of like the nature of it and like the scary parts are few and far between, but you kind of forget. Like it kind of get locked into like the mundaneness of what's actually happening, and then it in the actual show, and then it just like turns up all of a sudden, and you remember, oh, this is the Last of Us, or this is the Walking Dead, and I was really really excited to see um just the little nuggets they was giving us, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot, but it was like palatable, you know. But before we get into the time skip, you got anything else for the prelude?
no, great prelude. I really liked that first scene where they showed the cordyceps with the
Mm-hmm.
fungus coming out the mouth, and then
Mm-hmm.
the way they were moving overall looked very good, and it really felt like they threw a lot of money into it.
Yeah.
Which not one scene to me looked cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they all looked great, and like I said, they got a little bit of spookies going in there that I think some people who aren't a Walking Dead fan
Yeah.
would say, "Yep, this is a nope for me." But very very good opening 35 minutes or so.
Yeah. Yeah. It was dope. It was dope. So now we gotta get into the time skip because I for like this. I'm gonna say this a lot while we're watching this because I didn't realize how much time actually passed in between it. It's like 20 years, and it makes a lot more sense to how bad everything looks by then, because like the whole world changes. We go from this simple life where everything is normal back in the day. It was like 2000, 2003. I was 8. Imagine that, bro. Imagine being 8 and that happens, bro. But I digress. Um, and it's 20 years later, So Joel was like, he wasn't prime time Joel, but he was like young Joel. Now Joel got a whole bunch of grays, and he's looking more like Joel, you know. Um, but I think just how overgrown everything was, and just the world that became distraught, made it a lot more believable of like how bad things are. Like they really really established like, yo, we are in the worst of times. There's a whole new set of currency, um, infrastructure, and like social culture in general. So Chris, like what was your first impressions of just like the change in lifestyle at that point?
I mean, it looked great. It looks exactly like the game I played.
Yeah.
It looked rough. It looked like, wow, it's tough to live in this world.
Mhm.
Rugged. How y'all making it?
Yeah.
It all looked believable, and I think that's just what HBO sold me on. Like it's exactly like the game, and
Mhm.
now I'm seeing it with my eyes, and I'm like, yup, that's how it looked like in real life. Like it's just incredible, and like I said from the beginning, I'm just more impressed that it translated so well. There was not a single thing where I was just like,
Yeah.
this kind of looked like a set. It just looked
Yeah.
like, dang, the world done for. Like,
Yeah.
Joel, I don't know why you still around after 20 years, but you
The
still
fact that
chugging
he
along.
made it is crazy.
Yeah.
The fact
So
that he made it that long is crazy. Um, but yeah, like you said, like survival is everything in this world. Like the little money for the jobs, and they just show you how ruthless like life has become. They burning bodies, they hanging people for deeds, like public execution type beat, and um, we got our first introduction to seeing fireflies. You know, not necessarily them themselves, but the markings and propaganda and all this other stuff that play a factor later on in the show. But I think for me, the subtlety and just them, bringing it out without just saying like this is who we are. You get to kind of see like how people are reacting to them. They're not like necessarily a popular like way of like not I don't want to say way of life, but option in this little compound. You know what I'm saying? They're more of a nuisance. Um and you know, they're in a constant fight, but I really was like, oh man, like they already getting into it, And I don't like that's what I'm saying. Like I think it's because I didn't seen so much of the game. Like I don't know if I would have noticed that initially. Like and put two and two together. Like right off the bat. Because I kept like I don't know about you, I kept looking at the little time bar at the bottom. I was like, dang, we still going. I was like, yo, how far are we going to get into this thing? Um, but um, what did you think of that, bro? Because I mean, you the expert.
I
Like,
mean, like you said, it's eerily similar to the game, and
yeah.
as you even watch the second half of this entire pilot,
Mm,
it just makes me wonder, like, yo, what do y'all be doing in the past? Like, what? How is it this hard when you kind of have a roadmap
mm-hmm.
with anything? Like, how is it this difficult to translate it seamlessly? Because HBO just be doing it, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's just making me think like
I know.
the possibilities, and
Yeah.
I just have so much confidence. Actors are really good in it too,
Mm-hmm.
and it just feels like you can make it believable. I know it's
Yeah.
a game. You can make all this stuff believable if you really have some passion, really have some, if you really take your time and care
Yeah.
about crafting it exactly why gamers love The Last of Us, and
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, we're gonna make a medium where gamers will look to their friends who never played the game
Mm-hmm.
that says like, oh, this is why I like it so much, and then they can come together and enjoy the IP in itself. I'm just like, dang, we in the pilot. Like,
Yeah.
ain't no way you show me this episode or parts of this episode, and anyone would not say this is literally the game, and
Mm-hmm.
it's
Like
great.
even if you don't even know that it's the game, like it's like a really really good show, like by itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like the actual um cast, like I looked, I did a little bit of research. I seen that they even want Pedro and I forgot the girl's name. I think Bella Ramsey, uh, who plays Ellie in this, to really like look back at the game or try to replicate um what they know now, versus what they're actually doing because they want it to be a fresh experience. And I mean, ain't no way they didn't see it, bro, because it's too similar. It's too way
Yeah.
too similar.
Like I said, maybe
Um,
the director's just doing a really good job of shooting the scene.
yeah,
Overall, it's almost as if I'm replaying the game all over, and I'm just like, I'm enjoying every second. It's
hmm
it's a longer version. Yep. Yeah, let me get that.
yeah. So like with you know, let's take the Fireflies for example. Um, I don't necessarily remember us getting to see as much as we saw of like Marlene initially. But it seems like at this point, the way they set it up, like the Fireflies are like the bad good guys. Like they the ones that's like, they doing bad to do good initially,
Mm.
right? But I don't really remember getting that sentiment early on from it. Just
I
because
mean,
of
in the beginning, you kind of like knew, like what you said, like they had the Firefly paint graffiti on the wall and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But you still, Joel and Tess still get like the mission to
Mhm.
transport Ellie,
Right.
and it's kind of like you never really knew the Fireflies' intentions, and you still don't know the Fireflies' like real intentions, but you just
Mhm.
know Joel and Tess aren't necessarily on either side, and
Right.
they're, like you said, they're trying to make it in this world, and it ain't easy. So
Yeah.
whoever ain't shooting me today is cool with me.
Yeah.
So I think they did a great job still just translating that feeling into this,
Mhm.
and even showing like Joel like messing around with the guards. Like you said, we get even more like extended scenes of,
Context. Yeah.
yeah, extended context of normal stuff,
Yeah.
and then you're like, wow, it's even better, like amplified. So
Right.
it's just kind of like their world building. I don't know if it's the HBO execs, but their world building is getting pretty good to the point where I'm like, wow, we got Marlene, we got Joel, we got Tess, we got
Ellie.
uh Ellie
Yep.
in the first pilot. Like we we
Crazy.
we nailed through a lot of content to
Mhm.
really show anybody who wants to give it a shot, like what they're in for. So
Right.
I think it's gonna get a lot of attention, and only those who kind of who've seen The Walking Dead and was like, not my jam. Like
Yeah.
I really think
Me.
those are the only ones that will say like, I don't know if I'm gonna do this, but
Yeah.
everyone else, I think they're gonna be in for it. I think they're
I
gonna
don't
like.
I don't see how you go into this first episode and be like, nah, I don't want to know anymore. I'm good. Because the way
If you don't
that
like The Walking Dead, I don't see how this one would work for you. You know?
but I feel like The Walking Dead had other issues. I feel
Yeah,
like
but
The
if you
Walk
don't like The Walking Dead, why would you like this one?
because The Walking Dead's not necessarily about The Walking Dead. Just like how like The Last
Yeah,
of
it's
Us
about
like
surviving in it. In the
yeah, but I feel like like The Walking Dead, it was more so like it was good like the first 3 seasons, but like the content loop got bad because it just became the same thing over and over again. It was just like the stakes were just getting higher and higher, but the everything around it, didn't match. So like they could keep on um, introducing new people and keep on establishing new factions and stuff like that, but there was no like actual like end goal that they were trying to reach. I feel like The Last of Us has like a lot more. I mean, yeah, The Last of Us has a lot more well-rounded like story where there there is an end essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like we know that Joel and is just his mission is to get Ellie to the people he need to get him to, right?
Mhm.
So like you built the story around that versus like The Last of Us being like open ended in a sense, and they just the world just continues to go on, and like the the, the way that they add characters, like the last one I seen, it was the dude with the baseball bat and he knocks somebody over the head, and I was like, okay, I'm
Yeah,
done. That was the last one I stopped. I was like,
yeah.
nah,
I'm I'm
I
I'm s-
can't do
I'm
it no
talking
more.
about like if you watch a lot of The Walking Dead,
Yeah,
clearly you're watching it. But if
yeah.
you stop The Walking Dead after season one, I
Oh,
don't think
okay,
you'd be coming to The
okay.
Last of Us and be like,
If you
oh
don't
yeah,
like zombie stuff, essentially,
yeah. You're just gonna say
okay.
like all those who were infatuated when The Walking Dead first came out,
Mm-hmm.
they probably went all the way to the point where, like you said, that content loop, I'm done. Like
Yeah,
I feel like I'm not watching anything anymore. But
yeah.
like for this one, I feel like anyone who was like, I don't know why everyone's like so caught up in The Walking Dead,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna watch this and be like the same thing all over again. All right, peace out. Like
You think so?
yeah,
I
they're
don't
just gonna
know,
say zombies, dystopian future. All right, same thing. I don't care. Like,
but it's Ellie though. I don't
but
know.
they don't know who Ellie is. That's what I'm
Ah,
saying. Like they
dang.
could they could stick around, but I'm just viewing it like, yep, it'll be very similar.
But if they can get through this first episode and not be like, why her joint turned red and she's still chilling and it's been 3 weeks, I feel like that's enough. I feel like it's
I
enough,
hope
bruh.
so.
You know?
I hope so, but that's because I like The Last of Us.
I don't know. I didn't like. I don't like. I didn't like. I don't like scary stuff. So I never finished and played the game myself. But I like this story a lot, and I don't know. I feel like this story is better than the Walking Dead series. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
so it's I don't know. I feel like it'll be better. Well, I feel like it'll be easier for people to catch on to this content loop, I guess, than what um The Walking Dead was doing.
Yeah,
I
true.
don't know. I don't know. We'll keep on watching, but I mean, um, I think I think the other thing that got me, and I think the last thing that got me that I wanted to talk about was just like how pivotal like the the trauma that people have gone through, especially Joel, in this moment, how that takes over. And it's the first time we done really seen that, right? Because you lose your daughter in the worst way possible, you know, and like you're just sitting there in this mode, and it's like you got this light flashing on you, and you're just like, dang, I can't just go like this again, right? And it really showed me like, yo, he he's here. Just Joel right there. Cause he will knock somebody out and beat them senseless if you get in the way. Right? And I know uh him and Ellie at this point are just like getting to know each other. But I feel like just seeing how it don't take much, you know? He was just making a deal with this man earlier in the episode. And I thought initially, like, they not see him, or
He was peeing or
like,
something like that.
yeah, but I'm saying like it was a weird initial moment because it was like I couldn't tell if they was trying to sneak past them or they didn't see him at all, and
Mm,
it was out, and I think they just didn't see him for some
yeah,
reason. Um, but now Joe got that M16 and he finna go crazy. He finna go crazy. But I'm excited to like think about like, okay, so how are they going to really introduce us to like in the next episode? Because this was more character based in this one. We got a little bit of lore about the different I forgot the word, but the different,
cordyceps. You can
yeah.
call it zombies. That's fine.
Okay,
I don't
so
mind
the
those.
different types of zombies in this junk.
Yeah.
So like we're gonna get to see clickers. We're gonna get to see um like
Bloaters.
bloaters and the regular junks, and you know I'm excited to see them gather all the little things like bottles and bricks and throwing them. And like it not being a tutorial, you know what I'm saying? Like
No,
little stuff like that.
be
I'm
crafted
excited.
in the background.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, and just see a flawless run of The Last of Us because that's what this is gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Like a
Like,
legit run, yeah.
yeah, and I'm excited to see that. And then, um, I'm excited for Ellie not to be useless like initially, because in the game she's kind of useless. Like she's only there, like, you know, this one she seems a little bit more capable at least, and she
I
just still got a potty
so
mouth.
so how do you think about her as Ellie?
I like it because I think she looks a lot
Okay.
like Ashley Johnson,
Okay.
who plays
The
Ellie in
only
the
thing
game.
I got, I what I was feeling like was, I kind of felt like when I played The Last of Us,
Hmm.
it was surprising that Ellie is like still around in this world. And
Yeah.
this Ellie seems much more like grittier,
Hmm.
much more like,
Like she done been through it.
yeah, like she's a much rougher Ellie. Where it's like when
Yeah.
she saw Joel beating up that
Yeah.
soldier,
Right.
like this Ellie was like, oh, okay, bro, you know what I
Get
mean? You
him.
on the team, like you.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
gang
just feel
right
like
there.
the previous Ellie was more of like, okay, he's hard, but he's like, I don't know.
Hmm.
This one kind of seems like she's a little bit more darker.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like she's gonna be a lot more capable,
Yeah.
and that's gonna show like the nuance and like the different portrayals because you know in The Last of Us the game you only play as Joel, and
Mm.
Joel is the
He
hero.
played Ellie for a little bit.
But I'm saying like he the main character in the game,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, versus a show where it's like he's like the different duos and character builds that we get to see like are going to mean a lot more, from the relationships between Joel and his brother to Ellie and Joel to Ellie and what's her name, Marlene, to Joel and Tess. Like those are, I feel like, are going to be a lot more heightened because we're not just playing a game and they're the NPCs or like they're or just the side characters in this jump. Like they I feel like they have a greater stake in the overall world because it's not a video game. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like they hold more weight. So
Well, I just feel like they can tap into more of their story, like you're saying
mm,
earlier. Like we'll be able to see more of their story that we would normally see in a game. Because in a
yeah,
game, everyone would kind of just feel like, "Geez, I don't want to do this part of the segment. I don't."
yeah,
In a TV show, you're kind of like, "All right, let me see the backstory. Let me see some
mm-hmm,
extra. Let me see before Joel Tess was
right,
who's you messing with?" Like,
right.
like
Cause like,
everyone will be eating that up. But
cause I completely forgot about Tess. Like
yeah,
until like I was like, dang, she got in bed with him. You know? I was like, oh, that's right, I remember now. And
yeah.
and
So it's just like they definitely have more time to
yeah,
even out because based on the pilot, you can definitely time it. You can play the game and stop at a certain time and feel like,
mm-hmm,
yep, this is the save point. You know, I
yeah.
opened the game on Christmas, I stopped right there, and let's start episode 2 tomorrow or something like that. So
Right. You're right. Right. So yeah, that's a good start, man. It's a good start. It's gonna be strange to keep watching it. Just because like so much has to happen. And
yeah,
I just hope they take their time. Like make it last. You know what I'm saying? Make it last cuz
yes,
I mean, like uh now that we got The Last of Us 2 and see how people enjoyed that. Did you play that?
I did not.
Me neither.
I should now, but
Yeah.
the reviews are not kind to it. But I'll
That's what I'm
still give
saying.
it a go.
Yeah. So like they still have even
Mhm.
more content to put into this whole show. And I'm super excited and I'm glad we got a show to watch top of the year. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying? Till Mandalorian come out.
Yeah,
Another page off.
they really knocked it out the park for its first opening, and yeah, I'm really glad that they. It seems like there's some passion behind this. It seems like
Mm-hmm.
there's some money behind this,
Young is
and it
just
seems like
tweeting
they got
about it
the.
too.
Are they?
Young is just tweeting, bro.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. And I think this next episode we're gonna get a little bit more spookier, so
Yeah.
it's exciting.
Like the spookiness level, it was on like 2 in this one. Like it wasn't that much, but once we start actually creeping because we're in the actual world and not in a compound or facility where everything blocked off, it's finna get active and it ain't gonna be no playing around.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But
it's gonna be a
um,
dark world.
yeah,
Yeah.
sunny side of Chicago. It's like nah, but uh, that's all I really got for this first episode. You got anything else?
Nah, I loved it. Can't wait for next episode. I will be sitting there. What does it come out every Sunday?
I mean, I'm assuming.
Sunday, Sunday night. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to stay up.
Well, no, it came out.
They come Saturday.
It came out Saturday, I think, because
Saturday be better
yeah,
for me, but Sunday, uh, it is what it is. I'm about to watch.
yeah. I think I didn't watch it until that next day though. Like I think I
Yeah, I
watched it
watched
on
on Monday.
Sunday or Monday. I don't remember. I don't remember what day I watched it because there was a lot of stuff going on last weekend. But um, yeah. So that's all I got too, man. Chris, what you geeked about, man?
And I don't even want to say this right now. I don't even want to say this right now. I'm
Good.
geeked about them boys
You
losing
can
this week. You know,
what?
them Cowboys getting beat down by the 49ers. I'm hoping on their downfall. I can't
That's
have America's
crazy.
team. You know, I'll give them a win. They deserve it. You know, but
That's
oh man, I
crazy.
can't. So I'm geeked about this week. Uh,
You're gonna be
hey,
disappointed again.
how about them boys? Let's
We going to
let's.
we going to the Super Bowl. We beat Tom Brady. It's
Oh,
over
there it
with.
is. There it is. Oh, he jinxed it right here. We'll catch y'all next week.
No, I've been saying that though. I've been saying that.
What you geeked about, G?
Um, I didn't even watch the game initially, just because I think I fell asleep. I don't know what happened. Um, but what am I geeked about, man? See, I got a lot of movies to watch, so I gotta watch Plane this weekend, and I gotta
Mm,
watch Missing. Both of those. Plane came out last weekend, and then Missing
missing.
comes out this weekend. Um, the premieres started for that, so I'm excited about those two, and just getting back into the flow of things. Uh, I'm excited, like, just to really really lock in. I got this whole thing. I'm locked in until DreamCon because
Hey,
I wanna really really turn up. I want to get out like 3 to 4 reviews a month of like video reviews, and then I've started writing a lot more too. I'm not the best writer, you know what I'm saying? Just because that's just never been my subject, but I like the act of doing it because it's like getting my thoughts out in a different medium, in versus like having all of them. So like right now we got long form through a podcast, and then I do a consent, uh, what's the word? Um, condensed version of that in a review, and then a written version of that. So I'm like touching every aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just enjoying the process of that. But I got 2 more episodes of My Hero because I thought the season was done. So I'm excited to watch that now. And that's it. That's all I got. But yeah. So next week, I'm not sure what we'll be talking about. I mean, probably either be talking about The Last of Us or either Playing or Missing. One of those three, most likely. But appreciate y'all tuning in once again for another week, man. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're on the YouTube channel. Rate the podcast 5 stars. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of the first episode of The Last of Us. And we'll catch y'all in the next episode, man. Y'all be good out there, man, because it's going crazy in the world. But, we lit over here. Wild Geek Show to the moon. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Dang, I'm trying to find the outro, bro. All right, go. We see y'all next
oh
week.
no! See, this is what
Stay
happens
geek.
when you sleep right before the pod.
Okay, call me out. Yeah, I gotta lock in next time. I gotta lock in. No pre-pod nap. I
Yep,
got
for
that brain
sure.
fog right now. But I appreciate y'all, man. We out. Y'all be blessed. And yeah. See y'all next week, man. Stay geeked. Peace.